Remote control cars were a big part of my childhood, and nothing was more exciting than a Tamiya kit car. These were essentially little cars you built yourself. You painted the body, you built the chassis, loads of components, and I ended up racing these things weekly. The current state of the collection includes some built, half built and never built models, and this one's about 22 years old. I learnt a lot about engineering and cars, so these things have real life dampers with oil in, geometry, alloy wheels, roll bars, tie rods, the whole lot. You really had to set the cars up. As I got more nostalgic as the years went on, I went back and collected older models, so I kind of own most of the Tamiya mini series and most of the hop-up option parts. And so with all of this technical prowess and excellent looks, that was me hooked. Now, although I raced electric cars, it was always the petrol stuff that had me interested, and in true Fast and Furious style, they even run on a percentage of nitro. You have a tiny two-stroke, pull start, induction, exhaust, the whole shebang, and it was the closest I could get to owning a real car at the time. Now, with it being a two-stroke engine, the fuel and oil are essentially in one, so it's quite an oily, smelly mix. And with the body off, you can see it's quite a tightly packaged item. It's an air-cooled engine, hence why you've got the big grey heatsink on the top, which is finned. So let's go from the back. The grey pipe's the exhaust, the grey thing is the manifold, big pink thing's induction, that valve there is the needle for the fuel delivery. There's our spark plug on top and the fuel tank at the front. And the most important thing, the grey pull start handle. Now the engine is controlled by a servo, and these linkages are linked to both the brake and the throttle. Now here's what I love about this being a petrol engine. You've got to kind of look after it. So let's check the spark plug, or glow plug as it would be in this engine. In there is the top of the piston, nice and clean. That's a glow start. And the plug in, yeah, looking good. Now despite this being a petrol car, it actually does need some electronics. So under here are the batteries, and they power the servos and the receiver. So with the batteries in, the glow plug tested, let's get the transmitter and do some testing. So that's the throttle opening and is open, and that direction is the brake on. Now that block is the brake caliper, and it squeezes the plates to clamp that disc. This is the throttle opening, and of course the steering. Now that's the electronics testing done, the exciting bit. Let's get some fuel in and try and spark it up. Now using this little squeezy thing to fill it up is the easiest way to do it. Oh, about there. Now, because it's all pressure based, we have to prime by pumping in the first bits of fuel into the engine. So, glow plug in, pumping away. Hey, we're up and running. However, hasn't been starting in about 2 years, so let's give it a couple of goes. Now, being a two-stroke, it has a carb, so we can adjust how lean or strong the fuel is. So let's try a little bit less. Further adjustment and try again. Looks good. Let's try the brake. And finally a quick outdoor test before we get on the road. The big run. Here we go. Let's do a final systems check. Steering, throttle and brake. Let's try the first attempt, second attempt, almost, and third attempt. Hey! I'm just going to adjust the fueling, lean it out so there's a better air to fuel mixture. And let's do some warm-up revs to clear it out a bit. And after all this faff, which I must admit I do enjoy, body on, let's get it going. So that was a little taster of the Nitro Mini. Do let me know if you want to see more. Thanks a lot for watching and subscribe.